Commissioner Campbell?
Oh, one
Here.
second. Commissioner
Nope,
Ryan
I'm sorry.
is muted.
Yeah.
And just so the commissioners know when to expect their name, I'm going in order of wards. That gives you an idea. Do I start again,
You
Casey?
get to the fifth ward. Get to
for
the fifth ward.
commis-
Skip me.
For Commissioner Jewell and Commissioner Ryan, if you want to click *9, that'll unmute you. Or *6. Oh, yep. I think it's *6. Or *9.
I usually just hit the microphone icon.
So you hear me.
Okay. Yep.
Yes,
Commissioner Ryan, we
there's-
got you.
Mhm.
So Commissioner Ryan, you
Commissioner
are
Jewell
present.
there.
Hello.
All right,
Roll
I'm
call
just
here.
gonna. Yeah, perfect.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell,
Here.
Commissioner Blauer, here. Mr. Chair,
Here.
Commissioner Jewell,
Here.
Commissioner Cook Hawkins,
Here.
Commissioner Sorensen,
I'm here.
and Commissioner Jordan.
Here.
Thank you.
We have a quorum. At this time, Attorney Thompson, while you're there, you read Senate Bill 1108 regarding
Yes.
the revision of the Open Meetings Act.
Yes, thank you. All boards and commissions must adhere to all laws established under the Michigan compiled laws and in accordance with the revisions of the Open Meetings Act adopted in Senate Bill 1108 as passed on October 13th, 2020 and signed into law on October 16th, 2020. A public announcement shall be made by each member who is attending the meeting remotely that he or she is attending the meeting remotely, and except for those in military service, stating his or her physical location. So if we're all ready, I'll go through the roll again. Commissioner Ryan,
Yes, I'm attending the meeting remotely, and I am currently in Flint, Michigan.
you. Commissioner Campbell,
Yes. Leora Campbell, attending remotely, City of Flint, Genesee County, Ward 3.
Commissioner Blauer,
Commissioner Blauer, I'm attending remotely from my residence in Flint, Michigan.
thank you. Mr. Chair,
Chairman Wesley, I'm attending the meeting remotely, Genesee County, Flint, Michigan, from my residence.
thank you. Commissioner Jewell,
Yes, this is Commissioner Jewell. I'm attending remotely from my residence, Flint, Michigan, Genesee County.
thank you. Commissioner Cook Hawkins,
This is Commissioner Cook Hawkins. I'm attending the meeting remotely from my residence in Flint, Michigan.
thank you. And Commissioner Sorensen,
Commissioner Sorensen attending this meeting via remote in Flint, Michigan, Genesee County.
thank you very much. And last but not least, Commissioner Jordan.
Good evening, attending remotely from Flint, Michigan.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. At this time, are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell. I'd like to add under reports, status of master plan compliance update, which Suzanne had raised as an issue for us to address at our last meeting. And then, if appropriate, and Commissioner Jordan, I don't know if you were going to address this, to add under old business, status of I-475 project.
Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
not necessarily in addition to the agenda, but if I could get a second to debrief the ZBA meeting before the site plan review regarding SPR 20941.
okay. You said before the site plan review?
Yes, it's in regards to the site plan review. I just wanted to go over the use variances that came before ZBA.
Okay. Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
This is Commissioner Jewell. I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as directed.
Any support?
Commissioner Flower, support.
Commissioner Ryan.
I think I heard Commissioner Ryan and Commissioner Blower in support.
Correct.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed have the same right. Any abstentions? Motion to adopt the agenda carried. Minutes from November 4, 2020. Anybody get minutes? I know, I think Bill said their minutes were complete. He didn't get them out for November 10. I'm not sure about November the 4th.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
this is Commissioner Campbell. He did get them out. They were emailed out this afternoon. I'm looking at them now.
I was looking at my email.
This is Commissioner Jewell. I only received the minutes of November the 4th.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what he said.
you know, I don't see mine.
This is Commissioner Jewell. I received mine at 8:23 this morning.
So did I.
Anyway,
So that
Anyway.
Commissioner Ryan.
Unless
Yeah.
I erased them. I was looking at my phone. Okay,
I can send over the minutes that we have to you, Commissioner Wesley.
if you send them send it to my email address, it'd be fine.
Okay.
Commissioner, Mr. Chair,
Elizabeth beat you to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Commissioner Jewell, you were saying something?
yes, it's my understanding that the only minutes that we have before us are November the 4th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
November the 4th minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell. If you go to page 2 of the 3 pages of the November 4th minutes, surely a spelling item. Last paragraph, it states Commissioner Jewell commented, and commented is in uppercase. That just needs to be corrected to lowercase.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Joel, what page did you say that was on?
That's page 2.
Page 2 in the last paragraph?
The last paragraph where it says Commissioner Jewell commented. Commented is in uppercase, first letter, just needs to be corrected to lowercase.
Got it, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other additions or changes to the agenda? Any other additions or changes to the minutes? Sorry. Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to accept the minutes of November 4th, 2020.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of November the 4th as corrected.
Do I hear support?
Commissioner Campbell, I second.
Commissioner Campbell, that was support?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. It's been moved and properly supported that the minutes of November 4th be accepted. Roll.
Sorry, I was muted. Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blauer,
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Commissioner Jewell,
Yes, as corrected.
Commissioner Cook Hawkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Sorensen,
I'll abstain. I don't have a copy of those minutes.
and Commissioner Jordan.
I'll abstain as well, as I was not present.
Okay. The minutes of November 4 has been approved with 2 abstentions. Okay. Public forum.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is Commissioner Jewell. Just for the record, I think it's appropriate, and you can just determine that as the chair, to move the minutes of November the 10th to our next meeting in December.
Okay. Yeah, the minutes of November 10 will be moved to the next regularly scheduled meeting in December. Okay. Make a note here. Okay. Next is public forum. The public is invited to take part on anything appearing on our agenda this evening. If there's anyone wishing to address the commission, you can do so at this time. Is there anyone wishing to address the commission?
Yes, my name is Martin Bernash. I own Bernash Wrecking. I would like to know about the road that somebody wants to acquire that hooks to my property.
Bernash.
Yep,
What-
form 20-385.
Mr. Bernash,
Yes.
20-385, that matter has been postponed. And I think this is the second postponement for it. So I have no information for you at this time.
So that's they aren't closing my road off or taking my road away at this time?
Nope, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It,
Well, I got a
that's the second
message.
time it's been postponed for this commission.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly
yeah.
Thompson.
Okay, all right, hold on, Mr. Bernash. Go ahead, Attorney Thompson.
I would just invite Mr. Bernash to make any comments that he has at this point, and those comments can be preserved for the record if and when that
Okay.
comes back to the commission.
All right.
Okay.
But Mr. Bernash, if
Yep.
you want to make comment
Yeah.
concerning it, you can do so at this time.
Absolutely. If the city or county is going to sell the road, I'm also interested in it, as it hooks right up to my property.
Okay. You said the city or county is going to close the road. You're interested in it, or what?
Well, it sounds like one of my neighbors is trying to purchase the road, and that's where I come in. If the road is abandoned and is going to be sold, then I have an interest also.
Okay.
The abandoned, it's a very small piece of property, the last of St. John Street. What's left? Probably 100 feet long.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Other than, do you want my phone number? Oh,
I guess
and then also notify me of anything that comes up.
Okay, I guess if you want to make that part of the record, you can.
Definitely. My office phone is 810-742-9500.
Okay.
That's
you.
my only interest in this tonight is to be made aware of anything to do with the that touches my property.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Mr.
Else?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Joel, just
Yes.
calling regarding, I guess, a point of information. It may be appropriate to direct Mr. Bernash to staff regarding access to abandonment or vacating of streets and roads.
Okay.
So get a hold of them directly.
Yeah, you can do that. Mr. Vandercook is not in, but you can call the planning office.
If you provide your phone number, I can call you back tomorrow.
Yeah,
I have it. I called it 3 times today and nobody returned a call from 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 3 o'clock I called.
No one's in the office
Nope.
today. So if you give me your phone number, I can call you back tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great. Let me give you my cell phone.
Okay.
I'll be heading out of town. 810-5172.
Sorry, you broke up there. Could you repeat that?
810.
Sure. 810. 516.
Okay.
5172.
Okay, I'll follow up with you tomorrow.
Great. And who am I speaking to?
Sorry, this is Corey Christensen. I'm a planner with the city.
With the city? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Is there anyone else wishing to address the commission? Anyone else wishing to address the commission? Casey, is there anyone else on the line?
We have 2 phone numbers, 7616.
I'm on the line. This is regarding, my name is Steve Cusis. I'm an attorney regarding Green Galaxy Meds and Green Buddha.
Okay.
Okay.
3 LLC. I was going to wait for ours to be called.
Okay.
That's
I don't know if that
proper.
was the order.
That's good. Anyone else wishing to address the commission? Anyone else wishing to address the commission?
We have 3037. If you would like to click *6.
Anyone else wishing to address the commission? Okay, KZ, that portion of the public forum is now closed. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Blauer. Was that you for ZBA? for review?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Just before we started our discussion, I wanted to give a quick review. The Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, which will come before us as a site plan tonight, came before ZBA on October 20th. They were granted a non-use variance for 3 items. So the non-use variance was for the height standard of 35 feet and for a variance of 56.6 feet, a non-use variance for the street setback, and that was a minimum of 10, and it was variance for 410 for 25. And then the third request was a non-use variance from the city code standard of 25 feet rear yard setback to 11 feet. We also had a discussion, as I'm sure we will tonight, regarding parking and community feedback. It was a lengthy discussion we had with them, but they were granted unanimously their 3 requests.
Okay. That was rear yard setback, height variance, and a street.
In the the front street setback.
Front
yes.
street, okay. Okay. All right.
Just wanted to share that before we heard from the applicant or moved into our discussion.
Very well. Okay. Next item is site plan review. SPR 20941 Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village is requesting a site plan review at 4119 North Saginaw Street, PID 4636428059. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay, tell us about your site plan.
Mr. Chair, this is. Yeah.
Please state your name for the record. And who will be representing this process?
This is Doug Scott. Doug Scott from Rowe Professional Services Company. But I also have on the line with us tonight, Miriam Rasool from Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village and John Aslan from Aslan McLean Architects. Like to have Miriam just go ahead and give you a little overview about Sylvester Broom as well as the desire for this project. So.
Great, thank you, Doug. So Mary Russell, I'm the Executive Director of Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village. We have been a nonprofit youth organization since 2015. We have 20 different programs that we offer. We have athletes, academics, and artists. Those are the 3 buckets that all of our youth will fit in. We work with many community partners, and we are funded by local foundations as well as nationwide foundations. And our biggest project yet is the sports complex. And the sports complex, we received our initial funding from the NFL Detroit Lions Community Impact Grant for $250,000, and that's what launched this project. The current project is $10 million, and it's 58,000 square feet roughly, and that's us in a nutshell. So, did you guys have any questions about programming or things like that?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Joel. Is it Mary Ann? Did I get that correctly?
It's Miriam, but Mary Ann's pretty too.
Oh, Mary Yum. My apologies and so forth. Could you? I had a chance to take a look at the material and so forth. Could you? And I appreciated your overview of the program. Could you just walk me through? I show up. I'm there. Kind of give me a visual of what would be occurring.
So a day in the life of a Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village child. So I'm gonna let Coach speak to that. She's a program director. She's on this call. Her name is Linnell McKinney, and she can speak to that in more detail.
Yes, are you interested in knowing what's going on now or what will be going on in the sports complex in the new build?
What would be going on in the sports complex? Just take it from like you're giving me a tour.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Linnell Jones McKinney. I'm the program director at Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village. And just a brief description of myself. I'm the first female that came out of Flint to play professional basketball. I traveled all over the world playing professionally because I had the opportunity to develop my craft and develop my game. So if you can imagine yourself, imagine yourself as a child, especially here in the city of Flint, not having an opportunity to participate in after school programs or participate in developmental sports programs. Imagine yourself arriving at this huge state-of-the-art brand new facility on the north side of Flint, where you're used to seeing abandoned homes, you're used to seeing closed schools, where you're not having the opportunity to, participate in sports, especially in elementary and middle school. And you only have one high school that you can try out for, and most likely, probably 90% of the students that live in the city of Flint right now will not make that one high school team. So imagine yourself arriving right there in the parking lot, and you enter into this facility. And at the beginning, when you first enter into the facility, you'll see the foyer. We'll have a concession stand. Of course, on the other side, we'll have, beautiful area for check-in. And then you'll see quite a few athletes from all across the country, all across the state of Michigan that are arriving, either participate in a tournament, a basketball tournament, or a football tournament, or a tennis tournament, or a volleyball tournament. You see all of these young people, excited about sports and excited about the opportunity to compete again. Because we here in Flint, we produce more professional athletes in the city of Flint than any city in the history of America. And that hasn't happened in the past 25 years lately. So what you're going to see now is you're going to see all of these athletes, and then you go to your right and you'll see the football field. And then you go to your left and you'll see 3 state-of-the-art basketball courts, where there might be a 3-on-3 tournament from Gus Macker, or a 3-on-3 tournament from the Detroit Pistons that we're going to host. Or you might see a great volleyball tournament, or a league of young people coming in, or you might see a basketball camp going on, or a fitness area where the young people will be able to train and become some of the best athletes in the country. And then you go up in the mezzanine, and you'll see a robotics program going on from Kettering students and Kettering professors that are coming over to partner with us, giving our young people an opportunity not just to be involved in just the basic, the 4 core sports, but now we're talking about giving our young people an opportunity to be trained by some of the best in the world from Kettering University to participate in our robotics program. So you're going to see a place where young people now will be able to dream again. You're going to see a place where young people will be coming in there to develop. We call ourselves the triple threat, which is academics, athletics, and the arts. So when you walk in there, you're going to see everything that a child would desire, whether it's baseball, in soccer, football, track. We're going to give our young people an opportunity in this state-of-the-art facility to be able to dream again and to see life coming back to the city of Flint, to see the opportunity to become a collegiate athlete. You're going to see college coaches surrounded, right, by all of these collegiate, potential collegiate athletes. You're going to see excitement back in the community. You're going to see our young people having the opportunity to dream again. That's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to feel. That's what you're going to sense. That's what you're going to believe, because you're going to see professional athletes being mentoring our young people. You're going to see former professional athletes coaching our young people. You're going to see what Flint used to be 10 times better right here at the sports complex, what we're going to call the Building of Dreams in the city of Flint.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Okay. Commissioner Jewell, did that answer your question? I think you got to walk through. Okay. Okay. Will we go to Miriam? Would you like to add anything or further comment?
No, I think that was a great summation. Unless there are any additional questions, we are happy to answer those.
Okay.
And Commissioner, this is Doug Scott again. I'd be more than happy to go through the site plan, but I know you guys have also had a chance to look at that. So if you'd rather we just answer questions, that's fine too.
Nope, let's go through the site plan.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Chair.
Tell us about.
Hello?
Commissioner
Hello,
Jewell, yes.
My apologies, I got muted. I could hear you folks, but I wasn't able to respond. I just wanted to say thank you for the overview and so forth.
Okay.
Casey, could you keep tabs on why I keep getting muted?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is Commissioner Campbell.
Yes.
I'm looking at the renderings. Can someone explain to me the Sylvester Broom Center that's there now, is that being torn down and rebuilt?
No.
Because
No.
It is
no?
not. No.
So looking at the rendering, since I live around the corner from the Sylvester Broom Center, it looks nothing like it is now. So this entrance area, is that in the back?
Yes. So what is going to happen there? If the existing building is going to stay exactly.
Don, you're breaking up.
I'm sorry, I was going to say,
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah.
So the existing building is going to stay right where it's at. And if you've been to Sylvester Broom, there's parking lots back to behind the building.
This would be the secondary parking lot, Don?
Yes, there's the two parking lots on the main facility there, and so they will both be removed, and the new building will be basically constructed on the west side of the property, or right next to the park, the existing park that's there, and again it's going to take up pretty much that whole parking area that's there now. The new parking area will be smaller on site, and as you've seen there, we're also going to have an auxiliary parking area for parking tournament parking as well. And that auxiliary parking lot will be basically a block south of the facility there. But the new building will be constructed on basically the existing parking lot that is there now. And
So it's going to be on the side of the building?
it's going to be directly behind the building.
Behind the building. Okay. Don,
so
you said the auxiliary parking lot would be south of the building. It's two homes. It's housing. Would it be across Damon Street?
It's
Damon, yeah.
actually going to be one block south of there, so that it's going to end up being between.
I can't hear them.
Okay, Don, when you get back, you're breaking up, and you can't be.
Okay. Okay.
It's breaking up.
So the existing, or the auxiliary parking lot is going to be off of North Saginaw between Myrtle and Edmond Street there. So it's one block south of the facility there.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. This is Commissioner Cook Hawkins.
Okay.
So is this the overflow parking lot that's behind the Broom Center, or the entire parking lot that's right there currently?
Both of those parking lots will be renovated. The overflow parking lot, the building will be directly on top of the overflow parking lot, but it will protrude into a portion of what the main parking lot is there now. And as you see on the site plan, that parking lot will get smaller. We'll only have about 64 spaces on the site there. 65 spaces, sorry. And then we'll have 140 spaces on the auxiliary or overflow lot that's one block south of there.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
So, yes, go ahead.
can someone explain to me, getting back to this building, the building is this is the back end or the front end of the building?
I'm not sure
Current
which
building.
rendering.
Can you bring up a drawing, Doug? How about you bring up a drawing?
I have rendering 1 and 2.
Okay, just 1 second.
Because I'm trying to I know where it is because I went to school there when it was doing school, so I know where the building is. Now you're telling me that the building is going to remain the same, but you're going to put the I don't know what is this. I can't read it. But it's going to be on the side of the building in the parking lot.
It's going to be behind the building. Let me.
Behind the building.
So it's gonna, if I understand, it's gonna back right up to Dewey Park.
The back up to Dewey Park, and the front, what you're looking at will be facing the current parking lot. It's going to be built in an auxiliary parking lot, and the front of it will be facing the current parking lot which is going to be shrunk. Is that it, Doug?
Yes, and I'm going to. Can you see my screen now? Hopefully, are you able to see my screen now?
I can.
I'm not on Zoom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the existing building is right on North Saginaw. Sorry about that.
I know where it is, yeah.
And then directly behind that, there are 2 parking lots. One is an overflow. One is their main one. The new building will be constructed basically 10 foot off the property line, and that's variances that we talked about there. It will be 10 foot off the property line and extending toward the new building into the existing parking lot that is there now as well. That existing parking lot will be reconstructed in a smaller fashion so that it has basically 65 spaces in it. So I mean, basically, the existing building will remain, and then this new building will be constructed on the other half of the property that's there.
So, Commissioner Campbell,
yes, sir.
The new building will be facing east. The front of that building will be facing east, which be looking toward the existing building.
Correct.
Doug, my question there's a softball field in the park. There's a basketball diamond and a basketball court and a softball, look like a softball field. This
Correct.
building will basically, you have a partial fence that's right there that sort of separates this proposed building from the park. Is that right?
That's correct. Everything will remain on the Sylvester Broom property. On there will be 10 feet back from the property line, or 11 feet back from the property line, I guess, on that side. And so we won't be impacting the basketball court or the softball courts or softball field.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Ryan.
Go ahead, Commissioner Ryan.
yes, I heard he say something will be extending to Edward Street, and that is the extra parking lot. Am I understanding that correct? And will that be totally separate and just another parking lot?
That's correct, Commissioner. So that parking lot will be used in the event that for tournaments and overflow. So when there's a large function there, we will utilize that 140 spaces there. If you look, we're providing 65 spaces on site and then 140 spaces down at the additional parking facility. And again, the 65 spaces should be enough for us to conduct the everyday functions of Sylvester Broom with the practice schedules and stuff like that. It's only for tournaments that will be requiring the additional parking facility there.
Yeah, my question is, I see in your brochure you have tournaments, catering, high school basketball. 2 questions. Are those already programmed, or is that what your hopes are? Because concerning to the parking, that's what that would be used for, correct?
Right.
So we currently, hi, this is Miriam Russell. We currently have the programming with Kettering for the robotics. We currently have that. We currently have 15 basketball teams. We currently have all of these programs. So with the expansion of the Sportsplex, we anticipate having additional teams come and compete with our teams in the tournament. We plan to expand our teams and have more than just 14 basketball teams. We're going to have more we're going to expand our football program. So we're going to have more football teams. So we want to be able to provide a parking space so that everyone who attends any event at the Sportsplex will have a space to park. So that's why we added the additional lot to make sure that we have ample parking. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it's answered. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Other questions from the commission today?
Mr. Jordan, I first want to say thank you to Miriam and to Linnell and for the presentation and the enthusiasm. And I'm really familiar with the work that you do already at Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, and it's really excellent. So the questions that I have aren't so much about the programming that you have, but kind of the nitty gritty, rather, by the book sorts of questions. And so I appreciated the explanation already in terms of the ZBA addressing the setbacks and the building height. As we have, it does show that the maximum lot coverage is 56.4%, and it says that the maximum allowed by ordinance is 50%. So I just wanted to ask about that and whether that was also addressed by ZBA.
That was not addressed by the ZBA on that, and I know that honestly didn't come up at in planning review. And once we calculated everything, we looked at that, and basically, yeah, we are slightly over with that with the maximum lot coverage there.
Doug, you're moving your marker. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Elizabeth, you got another question there?
Well, I guess just the follow-up is, I mean, usually when we see a site plan that I'm not familiar with cases where that's exceeded the standard. So is there, this may be a question to staff in terms of what is the process for addressing that?
And, Corey is not going to answer addressing the questions, and Bill is not here because Corey is, as you know, employee of Rowe. So.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson.
Yeah, Kelly.
In Bill's absence and because of the situation with Corey, I think what I could offer the commission is just making note of the questions. And if that's something that the commission determines that they want an answer to before they make a decision, then there's obviously the option to postpone. But I obviously can't answer the questions for planning staff, but that's what I could offer the commission in Bill's absence.
Commissioner Jordan, your question again was,
So the maximum allowed lot, I'm looking at page 3 of our checklist.
Oh, page 3, hold up.
Yeah, page 3 of the site plan checklist. Under dimensional requirements, and the very last one at the bottom is for maximum lot coverage percentage. The ordinance standard is a maximum of 50%. The proposed plot plan is 56.4%. And I was just noting, I'm not
4% over.
Right. So, having not encountered this before on a site plan request that I'm familiar with, I just didn't know even what the options are in terms of how to handle this sort of thing that could have been brought to ZBA to be addressed. Is that something we have latitude to address? What's the parameters with that?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Corey.
I think I can speak in a generic sense as an answer to that question. If the site plan does not meet the maximum lot coverage percentage, if it exceeds it, it would require a variance. Options are, you could require that the applicant go get that variance and then come back to the planning commission, or alternatively, you could approve on condition they receive a variance.
Okay.
I have a point I'd like to make. This is Johnny Aslan with Aslan McLean Architectural Group, 4488 West Bristol Road in Flint. Tonight we're considering, I guess, 2 lots. I mean, the project is comprised of 2 lots, the parking lot and the lot that currently has the Sylvester Broom Center on. And I think if you total them together, we'd be less than the 50%. I don't know if that's something to think about, but.
Okay, we got a couple of options. Commissioner Jordan, you have another question?
I guess my only other question is kind of based on the parking, excuse me, the auxiliary parking lot. And given that it's a block away, whether there's been any thought as to steps to put in place to make sure that it's an easy and safe traverse between the 2 places. So for example, in the winter, is there provision for clearing the snow on the sidewalk or things of that sort that actually encourage people to utilize that designated space as opposed to, lining the streets in the neighborhood back there?
One thing on that, it is, like you say, it is 1 block away. There is
okay, Doug, you're breaking up again.
Okay, I'm sorry, usually my microphone works pretty good. Anyways.
Now I can hear you at all, Doug.
All right, is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. You're right here. Usually my microphone works well, so sometimes I might have an issue. The parking lot is a block away. There is a solid sidewalk along North Saginaw Street to get from one to the other. We are going to be replacing the sidewalk along North Saginaw in front of our parking lot, and we are going to be replacing the sidewalks on both the side streets there too, just to try and again provide a good section of sidewalk. Looking at the existing sidewalk between there, it's in fairly good condition. I know that was one of the requirements that Mr. Adis in his review wanted us to look at, was the condition of that sidewalk, and it's in decent condition. And I guess, you know, I would assume that during tournaments and stuff like that, that Sylvester Broom would make provisions for that to be, you know, plowed and stuff like that at that point. So
I'd also like to point out that in previous discussions with the city, that's been raised. And we were looking at providing crossing guards at times when there are tournaments to aid in people getting from one spot to the other.
Yeah, because we realize the experience, obviously people, especially coming from out of town, we want them to have a good experience, and we're going to do everything that we can to be able to make that a good experience. So.
Okay, Doug, right now, there is no parking lot there, is it?
That's correct. But,
so that's something that has to come before the commission also, isn't it?
Well, that is part of the site plan application.
Okay. And so I'm looking, I was on the site plan. We deal with the drainage on the parking lot. With the barriers from the neighborhood, from the residents?
Correct.
Okay.
And,
Okay, I
and
missed
so,
that.
so we, okay. So
Go ahead. I said I missed that part, but go ahead. I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at mine.
Yeah. Okay. So
Go ahead.
yes. So we do have drainage. We do have drainage planned on that. We do have landscaping buffer between the residential and this area here. The rest of this, you know, obviously we're against Saginaw, but we do have landscaping coming up to buffer, and there's an existing fence along there as well, and basically everything else should be screened by the detention pond and stuff there too. The drainage will go to a constructed detention pond, and then basically ultimately be detained and discharged into the storm sewer there. So.
All right. Other questions from the commission? Go ahead.
This Commissioner Campbell, have the applicant thought about contacting Hamilton Clinic, since that's right across the street from the center that is vacant?
Yeah, so a little over a year ago, Hamilton Community Health Network sold that lot of land to Dr. Miller, Pastor Miller. So now the the name of the church is slipping my mind right now. They're on Industrial.
Sacred Heart.
No.
They sold it to a church?
Correct. And we did approach the church to see if they were willing to sell. And we haven't received an answer yet, and that was months ago. So I'm assuming that that is a no.
Okay, that would have been perfect.
Yes, ma'am. It would have been perfect.
Other questions from the commission to the applicant?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Blauer.
Commissioner Blauer.
To the applicant, can you walk me through kind of just going back to the pedestrian walking, both from the other parking lot, how they would walk into the property, and then between the two buildings, what is the sidewalk, or what would the pedestrian traffic flow between the two buildings or onto the property be?
So on the main facility there, and Miriam can help me out on this as well, but the main entrance to Sylvester Broom, the current building, is here at the north entrance there, as well as off of Saginaw, where the there's another main entrance with the bus stop and stuff like that there. So that's that's going to continue. This north entrance is going to continue to be the main entrance. That's why we have the ADA parking there as well. To the proposed building, the main entrance is again going to be basically at the two locations that we're showing here. There's double doors here coming into the atrium and stuff. Let me go to the floor plan of that for you if I can switch quickly.
You gonna share your screen? Doug?
Are you still seeing it?
No, it disappeared off of mine.
Oh, I can see it.
I see it.
How can you guys see it and I can't? Get them, KZ. Don't let them treat me like this.
Oh, we can do a restart.
Okay.
I got Doug's big face on my screen now.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
I feel sorry for you there. So can you see it now?
There you go. There you go. We back working. I got it.
All right. So we've got the two main entrances here, and then the main entrance. There's another entrance here for the basketball court there, but the main entrance is going to be right here, and right here, and those again are right off the parking lot there as well. So.
Okay.
So following up, I think this would go to Miriam. Would there be any time that the students would be, especially students, but anyone in general, using both buildings on, like, say, the same afternoon, where they would be walking between the two?
Between the buildings, most definitely. Some students, they come for support with their homework, or they might be in a junior scientist club, or they might be in the music program. So they would be walking between the building. But that's just a walk through the parking lot to get to the next building. They would be in the street.
But there would be a time that a student would walk from one building across the parking lot into the other building. There's not a designated walkway or a crosswalk of any sort. It's just a kind of walking through the parking lot. Is that correct?
No, there would be a walkway. There would be a walkway. There would be, right now we have a walkway in the parking lot, an existing parking lot. We have a walkway where all pedestrians utilize to get from the building to the main parking lot. It's yellow lines and everything. So, and also students are not allowed to travel without an adult. Even inside of Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, students aren't allowed to walk the hallways just by themselves. It's always a reason, and there's always an escort. So that would be the same methodology that we would apply to students walking back and forth, changing classes or anything of that nature. And there would be a designated path. It wouldn't just be like them just walking through the parking lot. That would be a challenge. So yes, I respect the question. Good question.
So can you show me on the site plan where you either proposed or that is identified on the site plan where that would happen, where the crossing between the two buildings would happen?
Well, I know where the existing crosswalk is. Doug, do we know where the proposed one would be?
You know, honestly, we don't have one shown. We don't have one shown on there, and it's a very good point. We need to have one shown on there. So the site plan does not show one, but we will definitely add one in when we construct things here. So, and generally, I guess just looking at that is probably going to be coming straight off of straight off of the entrance here and coming straight across. We've got ADA spacing there that we can easily shift so that we have an aisle straight across like that. So
that would be, I'm looking at that. Existing sidewalks, okay. Okay.
Yes, there are existing sidewalks as well.
Yeah, I see, I'm looking those. Okay, other questions from the commission to the applicant? Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? I guess we'll go back to the maximum lot coverage percentage. What is commission thoughts?
This is
on-
Commissioner Ryan. They had me muted. Point of information.
Okay, Commissioner Ryan, go ahead.
Is one question. Between these buildings and exterior parking lot just 2 blocks away, is there going to be any kind of additional lighting or security?
Doug, is there, on the site plan, do you have any place for lighting?
Yes.
I didn't see-
There's actually a site lighting plan
Lighting
for
plan.
both. Yep. Last page. And there is lighting planned. There is lighting planned for both the new parking lot, the auxiliary parking lot, and the main parking there. So.
Yeah. Commissioner Ryan, are you able to unfold your
I'm
site
looking-
plan and look at?
Yeah, I was talking about between the two areas.
You mean the block between them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is currently street lighting on Saginaw, but that's basically, there is not anything planned at the moment to Sylvester Broom would be doing to, number one, it's not our property, so.
Right.
And is there any plans for security between that area?
Yes.
Like for tournaments and that sort of thing, when they utilize the secondary parking lot? Would that be security there?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, would there be security there all the time, regardless if it's a tournament or not? Because if the kids coming from Kettering and high schools, I would think they would still need some lighting, proper lighting, or security at that area.
The off-site lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the off-site lot, there is plans to have lighting on the off-site lot.
They're speaking about security
Oh, security. I thought
on
you
the off-site lot.
excuse me. Yes, the security would secure not only the 2 buildings, but the off-site lot as well, because that would be part of our property.
Okay.
So on the maximum lot coverage, any discussion from the commissioners how we should deal with this? It's like
Jordan?
6.4, yeah.
I guess my suggestion, it sounds like that the procedure for addressing it involves a variance. So one path forward might be to make a conditional approval on receiving such a variance. And if there's any other considerations such as the pedestrian striping in the parking lot that was mentioned, that would be, those things could be put together.
Yeah, I think that would, I think the path forward, that's a great consideration as a conditional part of the approval, that they get a variance for that 6.4% overage there. Any other questions from the commission to the applicant?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner.
Okay, hold on, Commissioner Jewell. Is that Commissioner Sorensen?
No, this
Who is that?
this is Suzanne, and I can wait till Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Well, Suzanne, nice of you to chime in. Yeah, I can hear you. I'll get with. I'll come back to you then, Commissioner Jewell.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to make a comment that the site plan did make reference to landscaping, both for the main site and the auxiliary parking lot. So I just wanted to comment on that.
Okay. What's your comment?
My comment was a great job on the landscaping.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Suzanne, Ms. Wolcott.
I have a question just about lighting. This is something that we're dealing with. So I heard you, Miriam, talk about lighting on the offsite parking lot. So is that new lighting that you're looking to add to this project? And is that something that's going to be under your own grid? How is that? Just, this is something we dealt with in the past, and we've talked a little bit to the commissioners about street lighting and decorative lighting. So I'm just wondering if that's something that you are going to incorporate the lighting into your own power grid. How is that going to be addressed?
Well, Doug, thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah.
That would be a Doug question, but I believe that it would be our lighting that we would have to.
Yeah. Yes. That is correct, Miriam. Basically, we'll end up having for that auxiliary lot, we'll end up having a separate service from Consumers Energy, and part of that is, looking at do those lights stay on every night? Do they only come on when tournaments? And those are the type of things that we just need to work through on that. But they would be set up so that they would be dusted on lights, and they could be, they could be turned off if it becomes a problem. There's always that dilemma. Is it better to light a parking lot and have it on all night, or is it better to shut them off and not entertain the areas? So we will be set up to do either one.
That answers my question. I just wanted to make sure that the service for the lighting is something that you are going to assume, and it's not something that becomes the responsibility of the city, as has happened in, unfortunately, previous projects that the city then has the responsibility for. So we've developed a memorandum of understanding. In this case, that might be something that would be appropriate for us to, just kind of memorialize this, separate from site plan review, but just as part of the process to make sure that that's recorded, that those lights are recorded. We track them. We have all lights in the city kind of mapped out on a dashboard. So these would be included on that, but then we'd have, kind of we'd have an agreement between you and between Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village and the city of Flint, just documenting that these lights are under the purview of Sylvester Broom.
Okay. Any other comments directed toward the applicant at this time? Hearing none, what is the desire of the commission?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve SPR 20-941 Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, which is requesting a site plan review at 4119 North Saginaw Street, PID 46-36-428-059, with the condition of a conditional variance form of stuff for the 6.4% overage.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell to Commissioner Campbell. Would you also add to your motion not only a conditional approval of the variance by ZBA, but also inclusion of the marking of the crosswalk and memorandum of lighting? That was just discussed.
The memorandum of would be this with the city of Flint, correct? Which would be a separate lighting issue with the city of Flint?
Yeah, but yeah, correct. But I'm just saying that from our perspective as the planning commission, sometimes things can be said and they're not followed through on. So I'm just saying in regards to your motion that it's being conditional that one, yes, that a variance needs to be approved, that on the site plan there needs to be marking regarding the crosswalk, and that the applicant will enter into an agreement with the city regarding lighting.
Great.
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Jewell.
Do I
You're
get
welcome.
support for the motion?
Commissioner Blauer, support.
It's been moved and properly supported that SPR 20941, Sylvester Broom Center Empowerment Village is requesting a site plan review for 4119 North Saginaw Street with the condition that they receive a variance, a conditional use of, they receive a variance from ZBA for the 6.4 overage on the maximum lot coverage from ZBA, along with a memorandum of understanding from the city and the Broom Center regarding lighting and the crosswalks from building to building. I think I got all that in there. Any further comments before I call for the vote? I'd just like to say, I think with Ms. McKinney on board, this is going to be a grand success. I mean, her enthusiasm and this facility coming to the north end is going to be fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Is any other comments from the commission? Hearing none, roll for approval.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blauer,
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Commissioner Jewell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook Hawkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Sorensen,
Yes.
and Commissioner Jordan.
Yes.
To the applicant, your site plan has been approved, SPR 20941. Good luck, and we're looking forward to that coming to the north end of Flint to empower our young folks. So it's been approved at this stage.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman?
Thank you.
Yes.
This is Commissioner Campbell. I would like to commend the Sylvester Broom Center for putting this much effort into this project, but also bringing it to the north end. I've been waiting for something for the north end, and finally it's here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. This means a lot to Flint, means a lot to our young people, and I'm sure it's going to bring so much more to the city of Flint for future generations. And again, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a case review update from the city of Flint, PC 20386 and PC 20387. Is this Suzanne?
Hello?
Suzanne?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You dropped, I didn't hear, I didn't
This
hear
is
what
for the
you
case
said.
review. Update from the City Council for PC 2386 and PC 2387.
Apologize, you, the back end of your conversation was cut off. So, there's resolutions that require city council approval for both of those cases. They went last night to set a public hearing, for city council approval. City council establishes the date themselves, but usually they're 2 meetings away. Last night, so we would expect that to go the end of December. Last night's meeting was adjourned at about 10:30 without actually getting to any resolutions. So it was recessed until Monday night. So they will be on the agenda for Monday night's council meeting to set the public hearing, most likely for, I believe, the meeting date in December, and that's still to be determined. Just because it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, but I think it's December 28th. And that is the date we're expecting the public hearing to actually happen, assuming that the resolutions get approved on Monday night at City Council.
Refresh my memory. What are those two?
It's for the Genesee Health System, the 2 street vacations.
All right. Okay. All right.
And I can bring this up now, or I can bring it up under new business, but just as an FYI, also there's 2 other street vacations that are not on this agenda, that were approved in July, for Applewood Estates. And if you'd like, I can just give you an update under new business, or I can do it now.
You can do it now. Go ahead.
I don't have the PC numbers in front of me right now, but you approved 2 street vacations for Applewood Estates back in July. I can't remember if I said June or July, but I think it was July. And those have been on hold for a variety of reasons, but they are ready to move forward at this point. And so now we're on the agenda this past Wednesday night that was recessed, and they will be on the agenda Monday night for approval to set a public hearing. That public hearing, depending upon when City Council, if City Council has the meeting that I referenced, I think December 28th, they are not going to go that night, then they will be either moved it depends on when City Council schedules that meeting. Sometimes they have special meetings around Christmas. So it will either be the week before, or they will be the first meeting in January, which I don't have the date in front of me, but it's the second Monday in January. They will be on the council meeting for that too. So there should be 2 more street vacations, public hearings coming up the week after the December 28th meeting.
Okay. So Applewood. All right, that's all for the case review. Next to be the public hearing. Call PC 20385. 976 East Wood Street, LLC, requests a street vacation. And this matter has been postponed. Question to the attorney, to Ms. Thompson, isn't this their second postponement? Didn't we say something about when this could come back before us, if at any time?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask how this was postponed this evening, if it was on the applicant's request or from the commission. And I can go back, I'm looking back through my previous agendas right now to see the last time that it was on.
So,
I think it was in October.
oh, sorry. So yeah, this is Casey. So from the October 27th meeting, they got postponed. The applicant postponed. And then on November 16th, Bill received an email from their attorney that they are postponing again, and that would be their second postponement.
Okay.
So it was it's their request.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Commissioner Jordan. Just a clarification. If my memory serves, we had established the policy that applicants could request one postponement,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
after which they would have to reapply if they continue to postpone, correct? And my recollection is that we had specifically ensured that staff was going to be communicating to that to the applicant at that time. So at this point, should have gotten their due warning, correct?
Yeah, my understanding is Bill communicated that to the applicant and they will be applying again.
How could they? Oh, they're going to apply again.
Yeah.
Did we set a time frame for which that
Yes.
can come back for us?
Mr. Chair, I could read that portion of our new bylaws into the record if the commission likes.
Please do.
Okay. So I'm going to skip to subsection B, and for the record, this is Article 6, Section 4. And this is on page 6 of the bylaws,
Yepper.
and this is subsection B, so at the very top of page 7. Upon a written timely request, an applicant shall be permitted one postponement of a public hearing. If the request is submitted 20 calendar days or more prior to the scheduled public hearing, no cost will be assessed to the applicant. If the request is submitted 7 to 19 calendar days prior to the scheduled public hearing, the cost of additional public notifications will be assessed to the applicant. Request to postpone 6 or fewer calendar days prior to the scheduled public hearing will be denied. And then requests submitted at 5 p.m. or later will be deemed submitted the following calendar day. And then this is subsection C. Following a postponement, and unless otherwise agreed to by the applicant and commission, the rescheduled public hearing shall be held within 90 calendar days of the originally scheduled meeting.
Okay.
So if that was, the last one was in October. I mean, this is the second postponement, so this would be deemed a withdrawal.
Right. Okay. Very good.
And it sounds like Bill made the applicant aware of that.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else for PC 2385? Here now we'll go to PC, the public hearing for PC 20388, Green Galaxy Med Incorporated. Leanne Casey requests a medical marijuana facility change in ownership of Green Galaxy Med Incorporated at 408 South Center Road, Flint 48506, to Green Buddha 3.
Buddha.
Boda
Yeah.
3 LLC. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
My question is, you presented an application as if you are applying for something totally new here. And it's a whole bunch of stuff I don't think we need, and what we need is not here, I don't think.
I'm not sure what you're asking me here. Steve, are you on the line?
Okay, who am I talking to right now?
This is Leanne Kizzy.
Leanne Kizzy. Okay.
Yes. Green Buddha is purchasing
on making an asset purchase of my business, Green Galaxy Meds. All we are asking for is a change in ownership.
Do we have a sign?
I believe the attorney, Steve Kawasi, is on the line as well.
Yeah, this is Steve Cusis. I'm on the line. We did submit a change of ownership form, and I also spoke to Mr. Vandercook and provided all the documents that he had requested of me. So if there's something else missing, I also asked him to tell me what else. This was last week, Wednesday or Thursday. And then I also asked him, and I asked Miss Thompson if there's anything else that was missing or else was needed to let me know, and we can supply that. But all we're asking for is that we have an asset purchase agreement. Green Buddha is purchasing from Green Galaxy. Green Galaxy is an existing operation, and we are just doing an asset purchase. There's going to be no changes to the premises or anything of that nature. I have the property owner here, Flint Center Properties, Alfred Zaytuna, as a member. He's here. And I also have the representative from Green Buddha, Paul Weisberger. Green Buddha is a state pre-qualified, and they're here to answer any questions you may have.
Casey, do you know if they received the application, the information from the applicant?
I know that Bill is working with Kelly on this one, but I know Bill sent an email of what was required.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I might be able to assist if.
Yeah, Kelly, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what specific information you were looking for.
I'm looking for the. Oh, I got it. I found it. Okay. Change of ownership. I got this part. All right. Is that application signed? Let me see if I see a signature on it. There's something here. Okay, on the back of the application where it says additional document required, there's no checks there.
We submitted all the documents to Mr. Vandercook. He had me put a merged PDF together, and I emailed everything to him. We had hand-delivered things, and I also sent him a PDF of everything.
Because I'm looking at, that's one of the things I was looking at, the change of ownership, where it says additional documents required, copy of operation agreement of the applicant, a staffing plan complete with the organizational chart. You saying you submitted these things to him?
Yes, sir. I submitted everything to him. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what day I did it by email. I think I also put Ms. Thompson on that email as well.
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, if I could.
Yes.
I think part of the confusion here is that they were sent in a couple of different batches, and what Bill had requested, I'm sorry, you can hear my dogs. Bill had requested one seamless PDF, so it was all in order. And I think the file size, there was an issue in emailing all one PDF, so it came in batches. But I'm looking at my.
On Thursday, I sent it to Mr. Vandercook, and Kelly, you were on there as well, all in one PDF as requested.
Okay.
So I did comply with that. So he has everything. He wanted
That was-
photographs, the old, everything was sent.
This is Commissioner Jordan. I had a very similar question because I noted that those items were not checked on the application that I received either, but it appeared that those items were included in the packet. So I wondered if it was just an oversight with maybe they didn't get checked. And I know that sometimes when that's happened and we're all face to face, we take a few moments and ask the applicant to check those items off during the meeting. I'm
Right.
not sure what the virtual version of that is, but I guess that might have been what occurred.
And if there's a way that I can assist and pull up something on my screen, or if the applicant can do that, I can facilitate however possible. If there's a particular piece of the application that the commission wants to look at, I could try and get that pulled up.
It's the last page on the change of ownership. Get him, boy.
I'm so sorry.
This is Commissioner Jordan again. So I think it's important to ask the question about it, but I guess for myself, I would be comfortable with us simply just going through them and verifying that they're in the packet. This part is just a listing of documents that are required. I consider that to be a little bit different than the attestation part from applicants, where we're asking the applicant to actually sign off that they're agreeing to certain things. So for example, the part below it, applicant confirmation, if those things weren't checked, that would indicate the applicant hadn't actually agreed to them. Those things are all checked. So I'm comfortable with us just verifying that the additional documents that were required were actually received.
Okay. So, Elizabeth, since you have the floor, you want to go through I see operation agreement. I see that document in the file.
Yep, I received that also. Staffing plan with an organizational chart. I believe that was included in one of the pages of the operational plan. If the applicant is a limited liability company, a copy of the partnership agreement. I think we received a copy of that.
Okay, I got that.
Property owners authorization. I think that was towards the end of the floor plans of the medical marijuana facility as previously approved. I believe that we've already got that in the packet and there's no changes to that.
Let's see.
Proof new owners have applied for a background check. I think we have copies of those. And then the locational map with the property outlined.
I got. Yep. Okay. To the commission, did you guys find those things in your packet of information that was sent out to you?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Jewell. As Commissioner Jordan was reading them, I was going through that in my packet. In fact, if you look at the end of the packet that you received, the commentary regarding background checks and locational map, those are actually they're actually at the end of the packet that we received.
Right. I got that.
And the other is
State police.
Right, and then the others were in the other part.
Okay. All righty. Okay, we got that cleared up. Other questions or comments from the commission to the applicant? Commissioner Jewell, you want to go through your...
my usual questions.
Yeah.
But the only, I mean, I went through the packet and the stuff that was, I had the same question that Commissioner Jordan had and you had regarding the checking off on the application form. The only other question I had was just, I guess it's just a curiosity in regards to rationale for change in ownership.
This is Steve Cusis. Mrs. Keesey is the sole shareholder of the present company, Green Galaxy, and she's looking to sell. She's looking to get out of the business.
Okay. To me, you're doing a business transaction. I just had a curiosity.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? Okay, hearing none. Thank you. Thanks to the applicant. Discussion?
You're welcome.
Mr. Chair, I do have a question. Mr. Chair, I have a question, I believe to staff, maybe to Kelly. On our staff report on page 2, there's note about that Green Galaxy Meds wasn't on the last transfer. Is that an issue moving forward since that is the applicant on this new application?
Yes, this is Kelly Thompson. I'm really glad you asked this question. This is something that Bill and I were discussing last week too. And I would perhaps open this up to the applicant to address, because my understanding is that the original license was issued to an individual, the owners, maybe the Ms. Kizzy on the call now, or someone else, but in later applications, like a license renewal, I believe, the applicant was listed as Green Galaxy Incorporated or Green Galaxy Meds Incorporated. So
I can answer.
Okay.
Okay, I can answer that question. Originally, it was Green Bean Company East. When we purchased from the previous owners, they requested that within 1 year that we discontinue using the business name Green Bean Company East. So Green Galaxy Meds is a DBA of Green Bean Company East for retail purposes. I've sent, I know Steve sent over the transfer that we did with the state of Michigan, as well as the transfer that we did at the city of Flint. As soon as that happened last year sometime, I came to the city of Flint, had the transfer done to change the name. It's still Green Bean Company East, Inc., but we're DBA of Green Galaxy Meds.
And Kelly, this is Steve Cusick. Monday morning at 8:51 a.m., I emailed the documentation to you, including the Green Galaxy registration with the city of Flint.
Checking that email right now. And Commissioner Blauer, I don't know if that answers your question, but what Bill and I ultimately concluded was that it was just a different name, but the on some of the application forms, but the business owner and the operation of the business itself hadn't changed. There wasn't a transfer of ownership or things like that was going on. It was just what was listed on the application. So I'm not sure if this answers your question, but that's something that was brought up last week in preparing for today.
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, I followed that verbally.
Okay.
It seems like it is, a legitimate, line of progression through it. I'm just making sure that, legally and consistently, we're looking at it, between the two applications. If there needs to be some sort of, maybe we put into record the document that they said they had sent over, something to kind of connect the pieces for a later date.
Certainly. Yes, I'll share this email with Bill. I can make it available to the commissioners. I'm looking at the email from their attorney right now.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes. Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. This is a public hearing, isn't it? Is there anyone,
Yes.
is there anyone out in the public wishing to oppose the transfer of ownership of PC 20388 Green Galaxy Med Incorporated, Leanne Kinsey?
Easy.
Keezy request a medical marijuana facility change of ownership of Green Galaxy Med Incorporated at 408 South Center Road, Flint, Michigan, 48506 to Green. Say it again for me, please.
Buddha.
Buddha. Third LLC. Is there anyone wishing to oppose the transfer? Is anyone wishing to oppose the transfer? Casey, we have any callers on the line?
We do have one ending in 5909.
Yes. I represent the owner of the property. This is Alfred Zaytuna.
Oh,
Okay. I'm taking you don't oppose that, right?
No, I definitely do not.
Okay. Anyone wishing to oppose? That portion of the public hearing is now closed. Anyone wishing to anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor of PC 2388 Green Galaxy Med change of ownership to Green Buddha 3 LLC? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Casey, is anyone else on the line?
no, that is all.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? That portion of the public hearing is now closed. What is the desire of the commission?
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell. I just like to ask my normal question. I guess I'll direct it to Kelly or to staff. Have we received any other communications, emails, or phone calls regarding this public hearing?
None have been submitted to planning staff.
Okay. Thank you.
What is the desire of the commission?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Blauer,
I move approval of PC 2388 Green Galaxy Meds Inc. Leanne Kinsey's request a medical marijuana facility change in ownership of Green Galaxy Meds Inc. at 408 South Center Road, Flint, Michigan 48506 to Green Buddha 3 LLC.
do I hear support for the motion?
I'll support that motion, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and properly supported. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blauer,
Yes.
and Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Commissioner Jewell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook Hawkins,
April, are you muted?
No, it said she disconnected.
yeah,
But Suzanne did say, that she's trying to connect back.
okay. I'll circle back to her.
Okay.
Commissioner Sorensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Checking my participant list. I don't see her on here.
You don't see Commissioner Kilcawkins?
I don't see her on the participant list for the meeting.
She was
So,
there.
Mr. Chair, yeah.
Yes, she was.
We can give it a couple of minutes as the vote stands right now, Mr. Chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 yes, and we're just waiting on Commissioner Cook Hawkins.
This is Suzanne. Her phone died, and she said that she was going to try to connect via laptop, and I sent her the Zoom information, but I haven't seen that she's responded to it yet. So I don't think she's back in, but this was probably over 10 minutes ago. So
Okay.
I think she's having technical difficulties.
Yep, let's move on. We have a 7 and a phone disconnect on the vote. Your request for a name change has been approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just for the record, approval of ownership change, correct?
Approve ownership change, correct.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Next item on our agenda is reports.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson.
Yep.
Yes.
That is.
I've been working with Suzanne and our Chief Legal Officer, Angela Wheeler. Angela emailed council staff last week and requested that the permanent marijuana ordinance be added back onto their agenda. And we are hoping to get that on their agenda sometime in December. Given the delays and the remote meetings and things related to the pandemic, it might be January, but we are really trying to push that forward for a second reading and a vote.
Okay. Any questions from the commission to Attorney Thompson? No? Thank you. Suzanne? Mr. Wilcox, status of the zoning ordinance and capital improvement plan.
The zoning ordinance is, we have that on our radar, and we are actually scheduling we're aiming for December, but most likely because of the holidays and rescheduled meetings, it will most likely be in January. So we are working on formatting that document right now, and we've also started, or will be starting next Thursday, meetings with staff. Our new planner, Bill, Corey, myself, and Kelly Thompson will be meeting weekly to review the draft zoning code to get us all familiar with it, ready to move it to council. And we've had conversations with Angela, the Chief Legal Officer, about that process, and we will be presenting that in Jan. We're shooting for December, but I will say it will probably go in January. But we are expecting that to happen very soon. So there has been progress made on that. And we may be calling on particularly Commissioner Jordan and any others who want to help, just because the 5 of us that are going to be moving this forward are 5 people who have not or were not present at the time the draft zoning code was adopted. So we are trying to familiarize ourselves with it so that we can speak intelligently about it at council, and it is moving forward.
Okay.
And then the capital improvement plan, we have developed a timeline for the capital improvement plan. Jeffrey Schiffman is on this call and he is actually leading that. So it's awesome having a lead planner on board again. This is one of his main work activities right now. We have heard from Eric Scorsoni, who has identified an intern in the finance department. He is on board with our plan and supports the plan to have the capital improvement plan completed in the fashion that it was last done, I think in 2018, so that we can collect all the information that we need to collect from the various departments. Finance is going to be reinforcing that and helping us make sure that we get that information. The intern that the finance department has on staff started last week, and Friday, Eric was going to give us a name of which there are 3 interns actually in finance, but which one of those 3 would be working closely with Jeffrey on the capital improvement plan. And as we said, we did look at the timeline that existed. It is consistent with the last capital improvement plan that was adopted. So we are starting to work on collecting the information and expect to have a capital improvement plan to you consistent with the budget and the master plan requirements. I think I can't, I don't have it in front of me right now. And Jeffrey, maybe you can speak to this, but according to the timeline that was last developed, I think we are supposed to have all the information we need from the departments by the end of December, and then we will be bringing it to Planning Commission for approval.
Yeah, I think the timeline calls for it we should have everything back end of December, get it written and out the end of January or the beginning of February to Planning Commission. I think that was the time. But I'm on my laptop and not in the system, so I can't bring the timeline up in front of me.
That is my recollection too, so that we have it ready to be adopted by the Planning Commission first and then presented with the budget to City Council.
So you said it coming for the Planning Commission probably in February for adoption?
I believe so. I think the end of January is when it is. I'm sorry, I do not have it in front of me either, but the end of January is when it's supposed to be finalized and then presented to Planning Commission in February for adoption with the budget. I think it's the first meeting in March.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is moving forward as well.
Very good. Status of staffing, Suzanne, and also they had down here status of the master plan update. Status of the master plan update.
So staffing is, I think, no changes from the last meeting. Jeffrey is on board and is diving in and getting. He's got a workload that's pretty intense, but he's really he's really taken the bull by the horn on a lot of activities. And so the capital improvement plan and the zoning code are 2 big priorities for him, but otherwise no updates. I think the planner one, the backfill position for Bill's position has not been posted yet, but HR is working on a number of positions for planning and development. And so I expect to see that posted any day. And then once that position is hired, we will be fully staffed in planning. Then the master plan update, that was something that I requested. I really just have a question for you. That's also on our agenda. We've talked about this several times. But most recently, we've talked about what that looks like in terms of the process for that to move forward. And I just want to be clear from the Planning Commission's perspective, because we would really like to pursue that. I know we're overdue by 2 years on that. It was supposed to be done in 2018. And so I think we have an opportunity now. There are several things that I've talked to Jeffrey about in terms of a focus on what that update might look like, particularly focusing really on 5 areas, looking at housing, looking at economic development. At the time the master plan was developed, we did not have an economic development department or staff at the city of Flint, and we do now, and we work closely with them. And I think that there's some benefit to looking at that chapter as far as a priority for economic development. We've talked about public health, particularly related to the water crisis, because we do not have, the water crisis obviously had not happened at the time the master plan was developed. So that's another area that we wanted. And these are just ideas. I really want to take some direction from you guys on what your thoughts are on this. But the other 2 areas would be more of a lens, given some of the things that have happened in our state and in our nation, just related to racial equity and racial healing. And because social equity is one of the guiding principles of the master plan, taking another look at where we can do a deeper dive into racial healing. There's a number of things that are occurring citywide right now, and just want to make sure that those are incorporated, and they are certainly addressed in the master plan, but going a little bit deeper into that. And then the 5th area is just given the things that our nation is facing, just related to climate change and environmental concerns, looking at sustainability again, and again, taking a deeper dive into those. So those are 5 areas that I've thought about that made sense to me in terms of, presenting an update. But what I wanted to, is get a sense from you on whether you thought those areas made sense to you, if you had other thoughts, and then specifically the process. Is it something that we just need to prepare and present to you? Or is there, and I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm looking for your guidance on this. Or is it something that, you will present to us areas that you would like to see updated? I just need a little bit of direction, and then we do want to include, that's on our plate too, to move this forward and get this work done too. So looking for some feedback from you.
Does anyone from the commission have any comments right off the top of their head at this time?
This is Commissioner Jewell. Can you hear me? I've been having problems with being muted and unmuted.
I can hear you fine.
Okay, all right. First off, Suzanne, thank you. I think the areas you talked about are excellent areas. A couple of thoughts. First off, I think it would be ideal to maybe at your monthly Planning Commission leadership staff meeting, put that on your agenda and kind of highlight a couple of the key items. Number 2, my understanding, there is a process for review and update regarding master plans, so we might want to pull that out. Number 3, several years ago, we put together an informal review committee to take a look at the master plan, and that was kind of put on hold because the zoning ordinance is an integral part of that process. So that's something else that may need to be discussed. And then I think the third part that we might want to take a look at is sort of similar to what we did with our bylaws resolutions, and that is maybe pull together a small core committee and take a look at how we move forwards. But I think you're right on target, Suzanne, is what makes sense, what's the best process, and so forth. So those are just some thoughts and ideas.
I appreciate all of those. Those are excellent suggestions, and definitely, I guess just a follow-up question to that, to the commission, would you, because I know that that's part of the reason the update has been on hold, because the zoning code wasn't adopted. Is that something that you would prefer to wait, understanding that I don't know how long, I can't predict how long it will take the council to act on the zoning code. I'm hoping, we are really trying to get them to adopt the draft zoning code And then if they have amendments that they feel need to be made, that they can make them after the fact so that we can get, a current zoning code. That's our goal. We don't obviously have control over Flint City Council, but that's how we're going to be presenting it. And I'm hopeful that we can move it forward. But if it doesn't happen that way, what would be the preference of this body related to the master plan update? Because we would like to start working on it. Would you prefer
yes,
to wait
Suzanne.
until the zoning code is adopted, or can we move forward on this?
Suzanne, this is Commissioner Jewell again. I think you're making an excellent point. I would still recommend that we begin taking a look at how to organize. I'd recommend to go back and pull out the requirements for compliance of the master plan. And since the zoning ordinance is an integral part, there may need to be a discussion with the city council leadership that the city may be out of compliance with its master plan because we're not addressing X, Y, and Z, and we need to address those to move forward. So I think if we collect all that information rather than us waiting, because if you remember the master plan process, the planning commission is tasked with organizing, putting that together, and recommending that to city council. It's the city council's role and responsibility regarding the master plan. Not the creation and development of it, but the acceptance and the approval of it. So I would reinforce that effort. So in some ways, Suzanne, I kind of see it as an additional support for you and your work of saying the city has a master plan. Here are the state guidelines and the required criteria. An integral part or a component of that is the draft ordinance in regards to being able to fulfill our land use requirements. We are out of compliance in these variety of areas. For us to move forward, we need this, this, and this. So those are just some additional thoughts. Does that make sense, Suzanne?
Yes, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Jordan, and I would echo that. I believe it was MSU Extension had a checklist.
Right.
To help communities assess, are they ready for a master plan review? So I think it makes absolute sense to pull that out again. And I think the next monthly meeting to huddle is for December 4th. So maybe that's something that we could plan to spend a chunk of time taking a look at there just to see where we're at. In addition to the thing Commissioner Jewell talked about, a couple of thoughts. I believe it was in the previous city charter, and I think it exists in the current charter as well, though I'd have to go back and look it up. But there had been a provision to engage the mayor and council, that they had an opportunity on an annual basis to suggest any items of amendment or update for the master plan for the planning commission to consider. In the year on the commission, we've never received any suggestions from council or the mayor, but that would be one avenue of incorporating any specific feedback that administration wanted to put before us or that council wanted to put before us. I agree that the zoning code is an important piece of adoption, and that's why we didn't take any sort of 5-year review of the master plan. So to the extent that we can still exert some pressure to get that completed, I think that's helpful, because it's very difficult to look at the land use chapter of the master plan until zoning is actually adopted. I would say that chapter is pretty much, we can't do anything with that until we have zoning. In terms of the other chapters you highlighted, though, certainly around health or social equity or those are all important things. Community engagement was also a pillar of the master plan. And I know that when we did the master plan, we had significant resources from HUD and other funders to enable us to do a really robust engagement. Both because of the current pandemic and the lack of those resources, I wouldn't expect that we're able to do outreach and engagement in the same way. But I think in some part of our approach has to be having some engagement with communities. They could be saying, okay, here's the 15 things that we think we need to update and adjust. what's your critique of that? Are there things we're missing? Are there things that should be prioritized differently? There's got to still be some way of doing community involvement so that we can be sure to continue to honor that promise that we made.
I appreciate those comments too, and I 100% agree with the community engagement piece. I did not mention that. I feel like that's a foregone conclusion. The work that I think planning is doing right now is centered around community engagement and outreach. And so I would absolutely not do it another way. I think I agree with you that we do not have the resources that we did, back in 2013, but we've done significant and continue significant community outreach efforts. And I would anticipate that would be a significant part of this too. So your comments are noted and appreciated, and I agree with all of them. So those are very helpful, and I'll look at the charter and I will look at the MSU checklist, and we'll have some conversations. Just to add to that, we have had informal conversations with both the previous and the current administration about the areas that I just mentioned, and informally they are in support of that. So maybe we need to formalize that a little bit more, just in terms of presenting something to Planning Commission, understanding that that's not that we need to go through a community outreach process, and we will. But those are very helpful, from both of you. I appreciate that.
Before we go any further, I just need, Jeff, what's your contact information? Phone number or something?
Right now I'm using my personal phone. It's 216-244-6150.
You don't have an office down there yet?
I do have an office, but I'm working remotely.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell.
Yes.
I think I know at our last meeting we talked about a 1 or 2 flight paragraph be put together regarding Jeffrey and Bill's background and role of focus to help us and to get some insight. That might be helpful in being put together, as well as relevant contact information for them, both email and phone number, and that then can be sent out to us.
Okay.
I can do that for sure.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And while we talking about contact information, Corey, what's your contact information down there? You
can reach me by phone at 248-915-5505.
And for both Corey and Jeff, they also are available and reachable by email. And Corey is C. Christensen.
Yep.
Corey, I'm sorry, but I think it's oh gosh.
Here, I can type it in the chat.
Or oh.
Hey,
okay, yeah.
It works better if you just send me an email.
Okay, it should be in the chat for everyone to see.
In the chat.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jewell again. Again, I think that would be helpful. We can just add Corey's contact information to that email, and I know they'll probably get that out by the beginning of next week.
248-915.
Maybe
okay.
the end of next week, Mr. Jewell, Commissioner Jewell.
Well, Mr. Chair, as I know, we're sharing information right now, which is taking only a few minutes. And I know the staff will be doing an outstanding job of just sitting down, taking 5 minutes, putting that contact information together and sending it out.
Yeah, contact information for sure. I'm just talking about the,
Right.
The half page or the brief, kind of outline of duties and stuff. I would say that would be closer to the end of next week, just because we have a short week this week and additional priorities at the beginning of next week. But contact information, I can get out to you tomorrow.
Okay, understandable.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne, for everything. Resolutions, do we have any?
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson. I don't believe we have any resolutions.
Oh, okay. Old business status of the Planning Commission membership roster. Suzanne?
I did have a conversation with Janelle and she gave me verbally, we had a virtual meeting. She gave me verbally all of the expiration dates of the commissioners for all of the boards, planning commission. I know that's what you're concerned with, but also ZBA and HDC. So I'm updating those membership rosters and we'll have those to you tomorrow. She is working on locating the actual resolutions. They have a spreadsheet that identifies the expiration dates. I think they're a little bit different than what we had talked about, but I will have yours to you tomorrow. And it is the current dates. And then she is working on finding the resolutions. And those will be part of the packets that, I'm sorry, of the binders that we are looking to have to you in January. The resolutions for each of you will be in your binders, but I do have the updated expiration dates for all of you now.
Okay. Planning Commission orientation packet. We are still working on that.
Yeah, I think Corey said at the last meeting that is something they're prioritizing and they will have available to you in January.
Okay. All right. The I-475 project, I was out of town out of the state last week. And Suzanne, did you have any further conversation with Brian Larkin?
I did, but we couldn't schedule anything. You were available Thursday or Friday and we didn't have joint availability for he and I and you. So given this week is short, putting it back on the radar to try and schedule for something next week. I don't have any further information in terms of updates on it, but just scheduling that meeting that's going to happen next week. And so if I could get some additional availability from you, then I'll work with Brian to schedule that.
Next week looked pretty good for me. Just give me a date, time. I think I can work it into my schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, he's still open to that.
Very good. That's all for any new business.
Commissioner Wesley, Chairman
Yes.
Wesley, I have one piece of new business related to the parks plan. And this is something that we are also working on. It's great having a lead planner on staff again, and also having a parks planner. So we have revisited the parks plan that was the draft parks plan that was prepared and is ready to go. Well, we're getting ready to move it to council for adoption. I wanted to also ask this question related to you just in terms of what has happened with the parks plan. And if the planning commission also, it is a component of the master plan in addition to making funding available for the city to apply for additional resources from the Department of Natural Resources. But is this something that I honestly don't know if this is something that has come before you already? If you have received the plan, reviewed it, have had, any citizen input on it, we are looking at scheduling that also for most likely January, getting that moving forward too. So what has been your interaction related to the parks plan?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, to you and all the commissioners.
Oh.
Has it been presented to you?
Yeah. This is Commissioner Jewell. I do remember, but the years go back, that there was I'm going to just use the term, an informational presentation regarding the parks plan. And I think we provided comment and input per se.
Okay.
This is
I
Commissioner
think
Jordan. I don't think we have, if the question is whether we've seen anything about the parks plan that's being developed now, for me, the answer would be no.
Okay.
No, I don't recall anything.
Okay,
No.
well, that is something that we will be bringing to you as well for your review and comment. And we will be moving that forward after Planning Commission sees it to City Council for adoption as well.
Okay.
And
right.
it is done. It is complete. There are some minor edits that are being made right now. As you know, we had a transition in our Parks Department as well. So Roy Lash is our new Parks planner, and he has been he's been reviewing it. Jeffrey has reviewed it. I'm reviewing it, and there's some minor edits that need to be made, and it will be brought to you very shortly.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, that's it from me.
And there's a new business. So I think that's all that we have. And the chair will entertain a motion for adjournment. And before we adjourn, I'd like to make sure everybody have a very safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Amen for that.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Thank you.
I haven't gotten the motion yet, though. Give me a motion for adjournment.
Somebody make a
Commissioner
motion.
Sorensen, give me a
motion. Need a second.
I think that was Commissioner Sorensen.
Yeah,
Made a
I'll
motion for-
second that. I'll second the motion.
You made it in a second and a two?
Why not?
No, Campbell made the motion.
Okay.
Sorensen will support it.
Okay, Campbell made the motion and Sorensen supported it.
Right.
Hey, thanks everybody and have a great holiday.